Dying matters to me because I guess it's as much of a fact of life as being born. It happens to us all whether we like it or not. And I think that's what makes it so important to actually to think about it, both in terms of how I might want to die myself one day, but also how I'd want relatives of mine, friends of mine to die and to have a chance really to exercise their wishes. So I think dying really matters to me, both as a fact of living, but also as a fact of dying. I think it's so important not only for the person who becomes ill and dies, but also for the people left behind, the people who are caring for them, the people who are bereaved. And I think if we're fearful of death, it means we're not going to enjoy life as much, and I think that's so important. Dying Matters exists to really get people thinking about death and dying, get people talking about it, to try and encourage them to sort of come to terms with the taboo, really. We are scared of death and dying. That's not really a surprise. In many ways, it's not a bad thing that there's a taboo around death and dying. We don't want to be morbid, we don't want to be talking about it, but we do have to recognise dying does happen to us. It is inevitable. And as much as I might like to sort of take the Woody Allen view of, I'm not scared of dying as long as I'm not there at the time, that just isn't really realistic. I know, having seen my grandma die as a result of Alzheimer's and complications from that, how important it was at the end of her life to be able to, for me and my mum, and I was one of her only 2 grandchildren, my mum was her only child, to be able to meet with her consultant and talk about the sort of care that we knew she would have wanted. And that led to a far more peaceful end-of-life process, both for my grandma, but also for her relatives, for my mum and for me. And that was really important, and I think it sort of stayed with me several years on. And as much as, somebody in their mid-30s, I don't really want to think about death and dying. I certainly don't want to think about it routinely for me or people I care about. It is going to happen, and I'd like to be able to control it as much as I can.